always tell me, hey, you'd make a great politician. To which I normally respond, hey, you'd make a really mean guidance counselor. How many kids grow up saying, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman, I want to be that guy on TV that daddy screams naughty words at? That kid literally has daddy issues. And no offense, politicians don't have an easy job, I get it. It's really hard to get paid to raise your own pay. But in spite of the fact that we vote for them, the people we elect to public office are generally about as well liked as the garbage man who ran your dog over. Even when you yell for him to stop. I'm praying for you, Wolf Blixer. And apparently, I'm not the only would-be politician who is praying. Because according to a May 18, 2014 Pew Research poll, over half of Americans would not vote for a candidate who doesn't believe in God. Moreover, wait for it, Fox News, July 16, 2014 explains that currently in America, there are 8 states with constitutions that ban atheists from holding public office. And if Fox News said it, okay, well that doesn't apply here. But the article did also point out that as of 2014, there are currently 0 openly atheist candidates serving in public office. They're trapped in the closet, in the chapel, which is probably dusty. However, in light of the fact that 1 in 6 Americans is non-religious, with 0 in 6 representation in government, this is no longer a problem for the secular community. It's a problem for our entire political process. So today, problems, causes, and solutions for one issue that cannot be prayed away. I know, I've tried. Apparently God doesn't like atheists. No, that makes sense, actually. Okay, public service announcement. I am not saying that Christianity is wrong. I'm also not saying that atheism is right. I'm simply saying that our obsession with placing people into these boxes can be harmful. Just ask Houdini. Oh, ooh, too soon? Okay, well, he wasn't a politician, but he did have problems. And so do we. First, distorted representation. Second, reinforced spiritual discrimination. First, CNN of August 18, 2014 explains that despite the fact that America was founded on keeping God out of government, God just keeps getting back in, just like Michelle Bachmann. But this precedent sets a Judeo-Christian model of ethics as the default for capable leadership. And look where it's gotten us. Michelle Bachmann. But at the same time, a secular would look completely hypocritical swearing an oath with their hand on a Bible, or finishing the address with God bless America. What, did America just sneeze? Now, these norms create a political environment in which roughly 50 million Americans will have to lie about their beliefs, hide them, or worse yet, avoid running altogether. In essence, when millions of otherwise capable candidates will feel uncomfortable serving in government, our representation is effectively distorted. Second, the Washington Post of July 8, 2014 cites former U.S. Senator Barney Frank, who did not come out as an atheist until after he retired from office, not from having 2 first names. Oh, it's the worst. Frank explains, Mr. Frank explains, so you can't even cite it without it sounding weird. Mr. Barney Frank explains that he would have never felt comfortable admitting that he didn't believe in God while in office, because even if his colleagues didn't immediately devalue his stance on any ethical issue, there's a good chance they would have taken a leak on the public. I mean, leak it to the public. Same thing. But this problem is sending the message that if you don't believe in God, you aren't worthy of our trust, and therefore you are not fit for office. That's not a fat joke. In the previously cited Church Pew Research poll, Americans responded that they'd be less likely to vote for someone who doesn't believe in God than someone who does drugs. Which, okay, I guess makes sense, because at least if Congress were on meth, something would actually get done. And like the number of times I've tried meth, there are 2 causes. First, hyperpersonal politics. And second, a lack of interfaith understanding. First, The Atlantic of September 26, 2014 explains that because mass media has drastically expanded the number of issues that can sway a person's vote, the default has become to make personal judgments instead. Too many politic-y things to think about. Well, he's tall, and he has hair, plus he's a Christian. Of course we can trust him. Essentially, we made our politics all about likability. And when the majority of Americans are Christian, and when government is riddled with Christian norms, we elect Christian candidates, and then we get people like Todd Aiken, and our representation remains distorted. Just like Aiken's understanding of biology. In other words, if it smells like God and looks like God, you should probably visit a hospital. So speaking of near-death experiences, I've had one. I told my Catholic grandpa that I was agnostic when he made me go hunting. You can fill in the blanks. I certainly did. Which is why it was a near-death experience. My grandpa was simply unwilling to even try to understand secularism. And he's not alone, which is our second cause. The Chicago Tribune of August 30th, 2014 argues that most Americans still don't seek out other religions to say Baha'i to, which we really ought to do. Moreover, most people view atheism as an utter lack of beliefs, but the secular community still maintains morals and ethics. They just aren't related to Jesus. But no one is related to Jesus, so I don't understand what you don't understand. When we choose to exclusively associate morality with believing in God, non-religious Americans are viewed as immoral, and therefore untrustworthy as leaders. Interestingly enough, that poll specifically listed marijuana as one of the drugs to sway voter confidence. It didn't. But then again, it also didn't specify whether or not the candidate inhaled the marijuana, so there you go. But clearly, we'd better hash out some solution. I hate myself. First, vote based on things that matter. And second, broaden your sexual, spiritual horizons. Maybe at the same time? Ugh, that got weird. First, vote based on things that matter. Now, I'm not saying religion doesn't matter. I'm simply saying that it shouldn't impact whether or not you think a candidate will be good at their job. Things that do matter. Their actual ability to do their job. Time magazine of December 6, 2014 explains that with the 2016 elections already in the spotlight, now is the perfect time to reevaluate your voting practices. Email your candidate and let them know that your support has nothing to do with their religion and everything to do with their ability to represent. Yeah, I can't make that work. Talk to your friends, teammates, and coaches and ask them what kinds of things sway their votes. If we can start the dialogue, maybe one day, in God we trust, won't make non-religious Americans feel like they need to lie about or hide their beliefs. Maybe it could be in politicians we trust. What, does that sound funny? Well, that's the problem. Second, get excited about other people's religions and lack thereof. The Christian Science Monitor of July 18, 2014 betrayed its own title by promoting other religions, noting that just because you are devout in your faith does not mean you will be smited for running about another one. Smited? Smoke? Okay, I'm paraphrasing. You get the point. Look on your campus for interfaith and secular student organizations. If you don't have one, start one. You could be the answer to someone's prayers. Or their godless heathen thoughts, whatever. Now, if we can demonstrate that in spite of religious differences, we can value and respect all belief systems equally, eventually our representation will become more representative. Now, whether you are spiritual, religious, or otherwise, our thoughts and beliefs about an afterlife and a higher power can, in fact, dictate how other people view us. Today, we address the problems, causes, and solutions for the way that this issue can negatively impact our political process. And to be honest with you, I have actually considered running for public office at some point in my career. Please don't hold that against me. But I would be nervous that not going to church every Sunday or not praying before every meal literally disqualifies me. But hopefully, my mindset, along with the mindset of millions of other Americans, can change. At the very least,